Greetings to you wherever you are. About 100 years ago, there was a notable evangelist. He was well known throughout Central America. He was a very wonderful scholar. One day he dreamed that he died and was taken to heaven. When he got to the gate of heaven, the gatekeeper, an angel of God, said to him, "Who are you?" He said, "I am so and so, an evangelist." The angel said, "Sir, just a moment. I will have to find out if your name was recorded here in heaven." So the angel went somewhere to look for his name inside a book. After a while, he returned to him and said, "Sir, your name was not recorded here." The evangelist said, "You must be mistaken. My name is so and so." The angel said, "I knew your name to be so and so, but it was not recorded here." The evangelist said, "Did you look for it thoroughly?" The angel said, "Yes, sir, I did, but your name was not recorded here." The evangelist said, "Well, what can I do?" The angel said, "Will you like to appeal your case before the great white throne?" The evangelist said, "I have no choice. I must appeal my case before the throne." The moment he said that, he felt himself going through space continuously. After a while, he began to go into a light. The light got brighter and brighter until it shined about 1 million times brighter than the sun. There was no certain place it was coming from, but the evangelist was standing in the midst of it. Suddenly, a voice spoke to him and said, "Are you so and so an evangelist?" He said, "Yes, my Lord, I am." The voice said, "Did you ever tell a lie when you were on the earth?" Until that time, he thought he had never lied to anyone before. But in the presence of that light, he realized there had been many times he said things that were not true. My dear friend, how will that day of judgment be? The voice continued and said, "So and so, did you ever steal or break any commandment of God when you were on the earth?" Until that time, he thought he had been a honest man, but in the presence of that light, he realized he had pulled some shady deeds. He answered the two questions by saying, "Yes, my Lord, I have stolen and lied." The voice also continued and said, "So and so, were you perfect when you were on the earth?" He said, "No, my Lord, I was not perfect." Thereafter, the evangelist was waiting for the statement, "Depart from me into everlasting destruction." Every bone in his body seemed to have gone out of his joint as he stood there trembling. All of a sudden, he heard the sweetest note he had ever heard in his life. It was sweeter than any mother's voice he had ever heard. When he looked to see, he saw a man standing by his side and whose face was the sweetest face he had ever seen. The face of a mother or anything could never take its place. The man said, Father, take all the sins of Saul and put them in my account, for he stood for me on the earth, and I will stand for him here in heaven. That man was Jesus Christ. Do you stand for Jesus Christ? To stand for Jesus Christ today is to believe the word of God for this age and live the life of the saints.